Hi, and welcome back to my channel, Teresa Harris Travel by Books. And today I have a selection of fountain pens to show you from Myers Pen Company, which is a pen turning and blank making company started by Alan Myers and his sons Tristan and Chris. Myers Pen Company is the former Addicted to Pens. But let's just dive right into these pens. You may remember, if you watched my previous Myers Pen Company video, that I showed Robin Hyde's Cosmic Fusion Alpha Model pen. And I loved her pen so much that I had to have one for myself. And so this is the pen I had commissioned. And I just love this resin, this material so much, with all of the gold sparkle and the purple and the hints of pink, the shimmer of pink. I think this is such a beautiful, beautiful material. And this particular pen is equipped with an FPR Fine Flex nib. And the second pen I wanted to show you is in the Genesis material. These are all Alpha Model pens, which is my current favorite design from Myers Pen Company. There's a little bit of a story associated with this material. Alan says a collaborative effort led to the creation of two blanks. And this Genesis was the result of Alan not following directions on the first try. Alan posted a photo on the Addicted to Pens Facebook group of this material and explained about the mistake he made, and I said, well, I kind of like that, so I want to buy one of those rods. And I happen to have a rod from that pour, and you can see how much the turned pen looks like the original material. So this is one of the original, the very first rods of the Genesis material. And I just love it. It looks like how I imagine deep space would look. I think Alan's inspiration for the name comes from the verse in the Bible that says that the earth was without form or void. And the Genesis pen is also equipped with an FPR or Fountain Pen Revolution Fine Flex nib. And the third pen I would like to share with you, this material is named Versailles Gardens. And I just think this material is so beautiful. The colors are so beautiful, and it does indeed remind one of a beautiful garden. And I will do a brief writing sample with several of these pens towards the end of the video. And this pen also has a fountain pen Revolution nib. But now we will move on to some more recent creations. All of the pens I have shown were turned prior to Christmas of last year. And now I have some new creations I would like to show you. And the first one is a pen that the material is named When Romeo Met Juliet. And we'll just take a moment to look at this beautiful, beautiful material. Alan's son Tristan has begun turning pens himself. Tristan has been involved with creating the materials, but he has just recently started turning pens. I may be wrong, but I think this is one of Tristan's very first pens. So Alan poured this material, but Tristan turned the pen. And he did an outstanding job with the polishing and the smoothness of the threads. He put a short video up on Facebook showing the turning of this cap before the body had even been turned and polished, and I absolutely fell in love with this pen just based on this material, the shine and sparkle of this cap material. It looks like it's on fire. Doesn't that look like flames? And I contacted Alan and I said I want that pen. The barrel of the pen is predominantly a dark royal blue background with swirls of red and gold, with maybe some silver, and even a hint of purple. Look how beautiful that is. This is a stunning pen. And since I had several pens with the fountain pen Revolution nibs, I decided to get something different, a JoWo Steel 1.5 stub nib. And I think the gold tone is an excellent choice to complement this pen material. These are all alpha model pens, and they come with your choice of either a number 6 size JoWo nib or a fountain pen Revolution fine flex nib and a converter. And just recently, Alan has begun to offer the fountain pen Revolution Ultra Flex nibs. There is a $20 upcharge for the JoWo nibs. And this is the last pen in the group, and my newest pen from Myers Pen Company. And this is from a material that Alan has named Beta Fight. And I am just in love with this material. And there's a story behind that name, which I will get to in a moment. But Alan had posted on his Facebook group a Kensington model pen that he was turning out of this material. And then he posted a photo of this pen, an Alpha model pen that he was working on. And again, I contacted him and said, I want that pen because I loved everything about it. Now, the inspiration for the name Betaphyte is that at one time Alan raised tropical fish. And I don't mean your typical fish hobbyist. I mean he was seriously into tropical fish. You've all seen the betta fish in the pet shops with the flowing fins and tails, and they come in beautiful colors. Alan sent me a photo of one of the fish that was his inspiration when he was selecting the colors for this material. Look at this end finial. But I had seen betta fish in the pet shops, and I didn't know they came in these incredibly exotic colors. I like the patterns and pastels, the dark and light lavender, and the pink shades. But what made me fall in love with the material is the black and white swirls that give the pen a three-dimensional look. The first model that Alan turned in this material was the Kensington model, and then this one, and since then 2 more pens that I know of, and they are all absolutely drop-dead gorgeous. Some pen materials don't always turn the same way. They can vary quite differently from one pen to the next, but the 4 pens I have seen so far made from this Betaphyte material, they have all been absolutely gorgeous. There is a slight amount of sparkle in this resin. It's not overwhelming, but it is there. And I've chosen a quite different nib. It's still a JoWo nib, but it's an Opus 88 branded black nib. Still a JoWo nib, but I thought it gave this pen a different look and matches the black pigment in the material. Something else I wanted to show you. This is a large 3D printed color changing pen holder that was 3D printed by Alan's son Chris of Handyman Hobbyist. I will slowly rotate this so you can see the amazing color changing effect. it goes from gold to a beautiful dark blue, which is my favorite side. And then it gradually transfers into a teal color, which becomes a green gold. And then back to the gold side. Now, as I said, this is the large size. Chris also makes these in a small size, suitable for the smaller pen models. Since I only have alphas, I can't really comment too much on the small pen holder as to whether it would be suitable for the Kensington or the Mia Petite pens. But you can see that it does require a long pen to fit properly. If you have primarily small pens, order the small size pen holder, because a small pen would get lost in here, especially if it had a clip. I made the mistake of putting a Hongdian N8 in here that has a clip, and I had to take all the pens out and turn it upside down and shake it to get the Hongdian pen out. So this pen holder is definitely suited for all of the Alpha model pens. And this is all of my Myers Pen Company pens. And this is the very first one, the Abalone Extreme 4.0 that I've previously reviewed. I'll put links to the other videos in the description box. This was the pen that first brought me to Addicted to Pens and caused me to become a fan of their pens. And this is the other item from Myers Pen Company. Now this is not 3D printed. These are from a mold made from a resin material. These slippers are available in 4 different colors that I know of. It's possible that Alan could make these in any color that you wanted. In addition to being cute, they can be used as pen display stands. That's very attractive. Isn't that pretty? So the first pen in the writing sample will be the Genesis pen, and this was a Christmas gift from Robin Hyde at Pencopia Pictorial. And the ink is Lamy Turquoise. And this pen is the Cosmic Fusion. And the ink is J. Herbon Violet Pensée. And this pen is the Versailles Gardens. And this pen was a very generous gift from Alan for Christmas. Thank you, Alan. And the ink is Diamine Raspberry Rose. When Romeo Met Juliet is inked with Pelican Edelstein Golden Lapis. This ink has so much golden shimmer in it, yet I have never experienced any clogging issues with any of the nibs that I have used with it. And for the final writing sample, we have the Beta pen. And the ink used in this pen is Lamy Blue Black. So I hope you enjoyed this look at my fountain pen collection from Myers Pen Company. I know it was a long video, but I had a lot of ground to cover looking at all of these beautiful pens and pen holders. So thank you for hanging in there, and I do hope you enjoyed this.